Tonight I'm doing a demonstration of a backup of Windows 8 Preview to a Windows Server 2012 R2 Essentials system. I'll just point out these are both virtual machines. That's not really relevant in that the behavior should be exactly the same as with physical machines for this test. So you'll see we have Windows 8.1 on the left. Just a quick look at the network configuration. And you will see just DHCP fed from my home router. Let's go look at the server here. Bring up the dashboard. Okay. Next, devices. So I had a test VM I used yesterday, and now we have a second machine we're going to back up here. This one's called Windows 8.1 VM1, so it's got a different name than the machine yesterday. That is good. All right, next. So let's bring up this article here, which walks through the installation procedure that did work for 8.1. And let's see if this still works. Let's copy that into the clipboard. Hit Windows plus X. Now we have this PowerShell rather than command prompt. Right click, immediately paste in, you'll notice. Hit enter. Okay, appears to have worked. Next step. Okay, we need to remember what we call this particular machine, right? Testco server. Okay, download the software. Simplest to say run, frankly. And this particular machine has auto run turned on. It no longer offers me, oh yeah, it did, it launched it, okay. So the fix is right there, rather simple. Not a bad deal. Let's do that again. This time, it should install without a hitch. And there we go. So, we're done with the browser. And we'll let it install. Now if we watch here on the right, we should see something happen. So I've removed the irrelevant machine from that server. So my credentials, username and password are shared with the Windows Server admin account. That makes things simple to follow here. It's taking quite a bit longer to remove that machine than I thought it would. This thing only has a C drive. So if we have a look under the hood here, there's the client computer backups. And indeed, they're rather large files, of course, because they've backed up an entire machine, a full backup. And I am going to need that space, actually, to do this new test backup of my first Windows 8.1 machine. And there we go. So we're ready to add Windows 8.1 to the mix. It says you may be logged off, but we're not. There's the launchpad, it's connected, and it just showed up on the right. It's that simple. I think the first backup will start shortly. Now let's have a look at the networking. Open network and sharing settings. And we're still on automatic. Interesting. It's not always the experience I've been getting. There's a good forum discussion going on about this at homeservershow.com. And sometimes it seems to hard-code the IP to the IP address of the server, sometimes not. There you go. First backup is started at 9:54. Now we have second hand. Can have a look at Task Manager here. Let's go to more details, performance, and have a look at what it's doing during this first backup. Disk is very busy. Makes sense, right? It's reading from the disk. So the beginning of the backup, it's a little jumpy as it's set up for the backup job, and now it's actually cruising right along and sending the data over the Ethernet cable. Okay. Just have a look at that network setting, just in case it changed at some later point. It is not. I don't know. The only thing that's different here is this is Windows 8.1, not 8.0 on the left. 8.0, I definitely have my network adapter hard-coded to point to this server on the right when I did a domain skip install of the client connector. So I find that kind of interesting. All right, well, that pretty much wraps up what I want to show in this video. It's time to do a time warp. I'll go ahead and fast forward to the end, and we'll see what time that finishes. I'll point out before I get the audio here that both machines on the left and the right were backed up, cloned, and then deployed from templates, but it makes things easier to reset and do this test all over again. But also, more important, Windows updates were run on both, all available updates. So that may or may not be relevant for the results, but as of June 26, 2013. Everything installed in here was current on both machines. And both are previews. On the left, it's Windows 8.1 preview. On the right, Windows Server 2012 R2 Essentials. Also a preview release, not the final product. So the backup's now completed. Should point out that right here, group policy not applicable. That's because it hasn't done a domain join, right? Okay, so that's really a wrap. Let's see if restarting the machine, Windows 8.1 machine, changes anything. I really want to know if that TCP/IP configuration gets changed at any point. Meanwhile, over here on the right, started at 9:54, we finished at 02, so yeah, 8 minutes or so, roughly. And it has identified the operating system properly. That is interesting, right there. Cool. Well, the network is fine, and the machine is backed up. Kind of fun to look at a second backup. Get an idea of how much faster it will be. I suspect the difference will be quite dramatic. So we started around 10:04. Right now it's basically checking all the clusters, see if anything's changed since the last backup we did, and then deciding what it needs to back up, and then sending whatever has changed since the last backup over the Ethernet cable. So as you would expect, it's very disk intensive, not network intensive right now. And there you go. The progress indicator here is cruising right through. Wow, that was fast. Well under a minute. All right. So things have definitely changed as far as behavior. We look at the settings of the Launchpad. We can have it go away, so when you restart Windows, it's not there at all, if that's your preference. Let's give that a try. Notice on the right, it immediately went away for status. It says offline, naturally. Updates are set to automatic, so I'm not sure why it was complaining there. All right. So notice it's back online. It's got nothing to do with being on, the Launchpad and auto start have nothing to do with if it's going to back up or not. It's still running, right? The device driver, the service is still running, and you can still back up without the user of this Windows 8 system, 8.1 system, seeing anything at all. No pop-up of any sort. Looking at Task Manager, though, naturally, there is a performance impact, although it's rather brief in duration. This may be even quicker than the last backup. All right, another remarkably fast backup. Well, that's the basics of what I wanted to show here. And hopefully you found this video helpful. And I thank you for watching. And please consider subscribing to the Tinker Try YouTube channel. Good night.